Well, I'm chatting with my good friend Auntie Pat Doolan, PSM, Public Service Medal, and she's one of my heroes. Pat, we first met in Bourke many moons ago.
Yes.
You and your family were part of the Bourke community, but it wasn't always easy. When you tell us a story when you first arrived in Bourke back in the 60s with Terry.
I found it different, but I got to know some people, and then that made it easier to fit in. And you know, in the end, when I prayed about what I could do for the Lord, and prayed about how do I take my message into the community and mix with black and white, red and yellow, and whatever, and God just led me that way.
Because when you first arrived, it wasn't that friendly, was it?
No, it was Aboriginal people were not allowed in the shops and that sort of thing, and I didn't even know that. I just thought, oh, well, it's, you know, in the 60s, surely we can go somewhere. But and when we did get into the shops, it was different. But over the years, things changed and people started to interact.
I like that story that you decided you were going to try and make a change. You prayed about it.
I prayed about it. I thought, how do I break down barriers? What do I do, Lord? Show me. And then I just got down on my hands and knees and just prayed that I could mix and give me the ability and the nous to be able to meet with people and say the right things and break down those barriers.
So what sort of things did you actually do?
Well, in the old days, I just stuck to the, how you going, mate? And I didn't know about the word mate, but I heard the men talking about mate. So I ended up saying mate. But then when I got used to it, I thought, no, I'm going to change that word. I'm going to say, how are things? Love, is that okay? If I can call you love? So, yeah. And I've managed, and I love Bourke. I grew to really love it because I didn't know where it was in the first place, and I thought, my auntie lived out there, Auntie Marge Reed, but I didn't know where Bourke was. But when I went out there, I just thought, wow, this is...
So you actually, one of the things you did was to get qualified as a teacher.
I did my training, and we used to go from Bourke, travel down on the coach to Sydney and do stuff in Sydney.
So then you could come back and get involved with education in Bourke, particularly for the Aboriginal kids?
No. That's what I had in mind, but I realised that, no, if you're going to be teaching things, you need to talk to the principals about how things should be developed for Aboriginal kids and how they can pick it up. But I didn't make that just Aboriginal. I worked with everyone.
All kids, okay.
Yeah, I loved it.
One of the initiatives you took was with one of the principals at the high school was to turn the broom closet into a radio station. Tell us about that.
Yeah, in the school, when it set up 2WEB, it was a template for the whole schools to learn English, especially our kids because they weren't doing really well. And we operated out of the cloakroom facing towards Dubbo Hospital, and of course you'd come in the gate and walk up the path and then come in, and they'd drop all their bags just at but it was cut in half, and the turntables were in there, and all the school bags were out here.
That's right.
But it was good because the community got involved with it.
And this was a way of helping the children gain confidence.
Well, it was set up for our kids, for the kids in the schools to learn English and how to get involved. And they started talking on the radio, which was good and they were rostered, each class were rostered during the week, and they'd come and do their whatever time they had, and it worked. It worked. I was really thrilled when the principal, now I can't even remember his name, but
that they actually... Is it Cliff Williams? No?
No, I can't remember.
Anyway.
But anyway, it was set up for the children, and I liked the fact that they were allowed, the classes were allowed to come in and have a go at the turntables and speak over the air. And
well, a lot of young people got
people.
started. My son was one of them. He got started on 2WEB. Yeah. So, and of course, the famous Triple M, your own husband, became quite a legend on 2WEB.
He called himself Triple M because it was man of many mistakes, and that's what he did. So, but yeah.
So, Pat, just to round it up a little bit, and there's lots more story we could tell. Maybe we'll do that another time. But so those initiatives you took in Burke over a period of 20 years, and I think your family were involved in the tennis club and other things. You and Terry used to run a Sunday school too for kids out of Burke. Yeah.
Terry take that. I'd be there to support him.
And Terry also preached in the main street, didn't he?
He did preach in the every Friday evening. He'd go down and preach on the corner. I'd be there with him, with the children, with our kids. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So all that experience you had in Burke that came out of what could have been a negative experience, you turned it to a positive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not a negative person. I like to change things around, and over the years I've learned how to. If I want to go in and do that, I've learned how to mix and mingle with people, and different people come from different groups. So then I've got to change that little interaction.
So that public service medal you got really came out of taking what you learned in Burke and applying it here in Dubbo for school kids and for education here?
Mainly, probably, but it came from the department itself because of all the work I developed and planned for communities, because we covered the area from Burke to Broken Hill to Coleraine, back down south, so yeah.
So you're an elder of the Wiradjuri people here in town?
I'm an elder of Talbragar Mission,
Talbragar Mission, that's where you grew up.
Yeah.
Well, that's another story. We won't get into that one now. But thanks, Pat. I appreciate just that little snapshot you've given us of the young bride who arrived in Burke. And
that's the first and the last.
And how you brought change. So bless you. Thanks.
No, that's a lot of things. And it was good because the principals worked with me.
Yep.
And, started putting
things done. You can get little by little. Out of little things, big things grow.
Yeah, and we got some graduates from Burke, and they went off and did their uni out of that area or this area, even Orange. They went to Sydney and Newcastle, and they.
That's something you can be very proud of.
Oh, I never even thought about it. I just thought, well, this is what I've got to do, and this is the way the Lord's led me. I never thought about being proud of this or proud of that. Just proud of the kids because they were picking up things, and and going places. And I thought, this is lovely. And when 2WEB was introduced, I just was so pleased with that because the kids took to it. All of the students in Burke, and
that was a great thing, and you've done. There's lots more we could talk about, but thank you for that, and thanks for the story.